Cool. Okay. Hi. If anyone else comes into the chat, I will accept them in. But if you're watching this another day, we're just doing a little catch up, mid-month catch up. It's not going to be anything revolutionary or like life changing or anything like that. I just want to like catch up with you guys, see how you're all feeling and that stuff like that. And just kind of hear you guys of like, you know, what's been going well for you and stuff like that. It has been like a really weird month. I think we all felt like in March, things just kind of like we did amazing as a team. Like I got so many congratulations from like Ivy and Krista and like being like, oh my gosh, your team is amazing, on fire. And you know, it's completely normal to have like good months and then not great months and all that sort of thing. And April has felt like really like muddy, and just kind of like the first week was really great and then the second week is, you know, a little bit funny. And I was talking to Jess at Cell about it, and she's like, it's completely normal. Like the second week usually of the month is usually when it kind of like dies down. And also April is like, we've had Easter, school holidays, we've had people still recovering from Christmas, we have had like, there's been so many different things, and people go away for Easter. Like people are just don't really like feel like investing in themselves usually around like March, April. March was just kind of a funny one, but yeah, so completely normal that the week have felt a little bit like not so great in April. But I wanted to ask you guys as well, what your one win would be from the last week. So anything, it can be literally as simple as, you know, you moving past something. It can be as simple as, you know, like a conversation that you've had. I just want you to pop it in the chat of just literally one win that you've had, not in your business, just in life in general. And yeah, like I mean, it definitely can be in business preferably, but if it's been in your life, then I would love to share that. I want us to kind of share everything. Phoebe signed up a new MP. Yay, that's awesome. That's so good. Which is, you know, like for Phoebes who isn't super on Instagram a lot, that's I know that that's big for you, babe. Made it back to the gym after 2 weeks off. Awesome. That's great for mum life. I got my hair done, full head of foils for the first time in like 4 years, mum life. Okay, cool. That's good. Wait, I'm trying to open my chat here. Awesome. Mine was launching my brand officially on a huge runway. I saw that. That was amazing, Georgia. But also spoke about my name to other vendors down there, which was scary to talk about my other job setting. That's like amazing. Let me just... I checked my GB and I'm super proud of it, even though I have been on a little hiatus. Okay, amazing. I want to ask you guys something that you're going to complete a few more trainings in my spare time. Awesome. I want to ask you guys something that you're going to be like, what? How? I want to ask you guys, what did you have to move past in terms of, what did you have to move through to be able to get to those wins? So for example, for me, I had a personal breakthrough, and what I had to work through was like a lot of worthiness issues, a lot of issues of, you know, like for example, getting your hair done. What did you have to overcome or like move through to literally just get you to that? Actually prioritize myself. This is my own personal breakthrough of my own. Exactly. That's amazing. Like the fact that you can just prioritize yourself is, you know, and take care of yourself and have, you know, self-care is like, you've got to learn to do that, especially in your business as well. And you've got to learn how to be able to take care of you, because you're taking care of so many other people as well. You're taking care of your kids, you're taking care of your business, you're taking care of your family. Like, you know, we have to work through some of those things as well. yeah, so what did you have to move through for that win? The mum guilt and imposter syndrome was making me want to quit, but I deserve it, and it will all come full circle. So I'm really proud. I'm so proud of you. It will come full circle. A thing that I heard today was 1 year of focus can totally, completely change your life. So while it feels hard, and like, I know, Georgia, for you, it probably has felt like a couple of years because you've got your other business too. You've got, it takes, I'm sure that firsthand of like, putting in every day into a business and slogging it out even on days that you don't feel like showing up. And then a couple years, months, whatever it is later, you're like, I can finally start to see this coming together, and then you'll look back in a couple of years and be like, wow, I'm so glad that I did this every day and I showed up for myself. And mum guilt is something that we have to work through as well. Like, mum guilt is huge. And imposter syndrome, I think every single one of us has felt imposter syndrome. Every single one of us feels like not good enough, not smart enough, not qualified enough, and a big thing as well is when, like, you guys are going to get to a point as well where you're going to start earning money, you're going to start earning bigger money, and you're going to be like, I don't deserve this. Like, that definitely comes into play of like, I don't feel like I deserve this. I don't feel like I remember for me, I was always like, when I would get my big paychecks, I would be like, I don't feel like I deserve this because I'm just like a regular person, and all I've done is like shared products. That in itself is imposter syndrome, so that's something to work through as well. And we're all constantly evolving. We're all constantly working through that. And I don't think we ever, like, we do get over it, but it's a constant process of like coming back to ourselves and being like, okay, I am worthy. I am, all these good things. And, just because something happens to me, something that's good happens to me, doesn't mean that I am not being someone that is authentic to who I am. So Chanel said, yeah, I'm always doing something or looking after someone in my house outside of the kids while trying to run this space. So I've just told everyone I need an hour to myself without interruptions because this is a business to me, even though it might not look like that to them because they don't understand the online space and being on my phone. Yeah, huge to work through as well. That is something that, when you are working at this business every day, it feels like, and that guilt comes in as well sometimes of like, oh, I shouldn't be on my phone and I shouldn't do this and that. And I was having this conversation with one of the girls the other day where this is your business in terms of like, if you were to open a store, if you were to open a shop, you would be at that store every day. You would be doing stuff. You would be, opening up boxes. You would be opening up the door. You would be greeting customers. You would be doing that sort of thing. But it looks a lot different when you're on your phone. When you're sitting on your phone and you're like doing this cart and you're talking to this person, you're connecting with one person, like, on the other side of the Australia or whatever it is, that's your business, that's your work. And putting in, even watching trainings and stuff like that, it's really important to, like, realize that you are worthy as well of putting that time aside. And it's okay to, like, I think a lot of us are people pleasers. Like, literally said this to Georgia just before when she posted like a meme thing. And I was like, a lot of us are people pleasers, but naturally, like, we try to be. It's just like kind of in human nature. And you have to understand as well that sometimes you have to take that time, you have to communicate, and you have to work through those blocks of just being like, I cannot please everyone. I cannot please, like, my family at the same time while I'm doing my business. And that's personally, that's where I actually get really burnt out because I'm trying to be everything for everyone, plus trying to take care of like a team of like 100 women. So it's really important to be able to decipher between the two and say, and just go, hey, I actually need some time. This is like my business and this is something that I need to do for us. and not having to feel guilty about that. You'll know when, like, we have conscience, we have, you know, like conviction and all that sort of thing. You'll know when you're putting too much and you're going, okay, there's an imbalance here. There's definitely an imbalance here. But if you're like actually just really going for it and you're just like, I'm just loving this and I'm wanting to pour into it, that's something that you have to communicate and work through and stuff like that with your family and that sort of thing. So anyway, okay, I've got like a whole lot of notes, so bear with me. I'm still like getting used to this, guys. Still used to getting like doing these meetings and stuff like that. I'm growing a little bit each more like every time. So I wanted to remind you guys of like, I want to talk a little bit about vision and what our vision is, because when we have hard weeks or hard months, it's really easy to forget what our vision was coming into this. You know, we have hard things happen with our family. We get like, you know, derailed by someone's comment. We get, you know, like backlash from some of your friends or your family or whatever, and it can derail you. And so it's really important to come back to your vision of why you wanted to do this. And your vision will change. The further along you get in this business, your vision will change. But it's really important to take yourself back to so there's your vision and your why. Your why is super important, because it's like, you know, I want to do this for my family. Your vision is, where do you want to take this? Because at the end of the day, your vision is what you are going to portray to someone else who is joining your team, right? So your vision of like, okay, for me, for example, I'm like, I want to take my kids traveling overseas. I want them to be in nature. I want to be able to say yes to, you know, going to a friend's wedding in Bali, or I want to be able to say yes to when, I don't know, like if my car breaks down and I need to, you know, get a $5,000 car service, which was me a couple of months ago, I can be like, I've got that. You know, that's my vision of like living an easier life. But that's something that I have to keep remembering on those days where I'm like, this is hard and I don't want to do this. And it's a slow week and it's a slow month and I may just give up. Like, being completely honest, yesterday, I just wanted to fully throw in the towel and be like, I'm done. Like, I can't do this anymore. I'm a terrible leader. That's fine, babe. Love you. And you know, you just want to throw in the towel. You're going to have those days, but the vision is so important, because your why and your vision go hand in hand together, because it's like where you're coming from and where you want to go, and those things are so important to have. So if you haven't for a while thought about your vision and thought about your why, really like you guys to like write that down, take just like 10 minutes after this call and be like, what is truly important to me? Like, where do I want to take this? You can't have good days without some bad. The bad days are what makes the good days all worth it. Yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about this as well. Our gas ran out tonight, and I didn't read that. Yeah, it's little things like that. Being able to, don't worry though, I'll pay for it. Yeah, you'll be able to say like, hey, I've got this, you know. Like for me, it's not owning a mansion and having, you know, Chanel handbags and all that sort of thing. It's literally about having more freedom. And when you can share that with people and your vision, that's where there's like a real like emotional pull to it, because you're being authentic. You're sharing yourself. You're sharing your heart with people, really. And that's what people want. People want to hear your heart. People want to hear where you think you're going. And also people want to go with someone who what's that saying? They want to go with people who are going somewhere, pretty much. So, you know, like if that means that you have to sit down and actually just like write it out and get really clear on your vision, because if your vision is, I want to make $50 extra a week, why? Why do you need that $50 extra a week? Is it so you can live comfortably? Is it because you want your kids to not have to grow up, you know, like not having to miss out on things? Like, you know, what are those little details that makes your vision important? So I want to talk about, it kind of ties into this. You never know, who is it? Daniel G. I love him so much. He put up a caption the other day and said, you never know what happens if you keep going, but there is an exact guarantee of what happens if you quit. And I really love that, because you don't know where you're going. Like, your vision is your vision. But if you keep going and all that sort of thing, you don't know what will happen, because it's life. But if you quit, you fully know what's going to happen. You know that you're going to feel down. You know that you're going to feel, like, I didn't finish it. There's all these things that are going to happen if you quit. Whereas, like, if you just keep going, you have no idea what could happen. You have no idea the success you could have, the people's lives that you could change. Like, if you look at yourself every day and you do something today, every day, for yourself, for your business, showing up, if you look at where you're going to be in 3 years, it's going to be so different to what you could even imagine. You can't even, like, imagine what it's going to be like, But if you quit today, it's like, okay, well, there's a part of my life that's probably just going to stay the same. So, yeah, we talked about what's your why, what's your vision. My vision for, like, this team and what we are going to achieve in general is, for me, my family and vision is completely separate, but for my team, I would love for us to be like a directors team. I want all of you guys to, like, I see all of you guys as phenomenal leaders and leading your own teams and changing other people's lives. And I want this team to be a really strong, connected, awesome team. And that's something that is super, super important to me. And, like, when I quit my other job and hopefully have a bit more time, I'd love to just, like, be able to do things like retreats and be able to do things like weekly meetings and, meetups and all that sort of thing, and be able to, like, my dream would be like to be like Ivy and be able to fly my team all to one place, and, like, people who can't afford it, just, like, fly them in and just do, like, big retreats and get-togethers. Like, that's really where my heart is. Like, yeah, it's all good being like, yeah, I want to be in the $1 million club, but really it's because I want that. Like, I want the connection and I want, like, the community and stuff like that. Okay, so I talked about the things that so your vision and your why, the things in your heart are worth going for. So your dreams. Hi, Lena. She's like, everybody wave at me. Okay, so the things that is in your heart, your vision, your why, all that sort of stuff, the things in your heart are worth going for. So the things that you desire, the things that your heart desires, are worth you doing the work and are worth you going for. Because what else in your life can give you an opportunity to go for the things that you truly desire? Because I know for me, the 9 to 5 was not going to give me what my true heart desired. Like, I knew that. And so I know that this opportunity can give you everything that you want. Like, this opportunity can give you everything you want, because we've seen it. Like, we have seen it with Ivy, we've seen it with Krista, we've seen it with Jess, we've seen it with Em Whitlock. Like, the women in our team, like, even Em Whitlock, she's a single mom of 3 kids. She's now got a car. She's earning 5 figures a month, 5 figures like a week. She's literally, whatever, and what she desires is to have a home. She, like, broke down to me when we, like, went for a sauna and stuff, and I don't know if you guys know her story, but she came out of, like, a really toxic relationship, and the day that, like, she moved out, she started this business, and she was like, I was so, like, worried that my girl, she's got 3 girls, were not going to have a home to live in. Like, we're not going to have, a place to be. And she has now bought a home for herself. She is paying it off. She got a home loan where she can provide for her 3 girls, and she can take them out, and she can, like, do things with them. To me, like, that's what's rich. Like, that is having a rich life. And yeah, she's probably, and she wants more. Like, I know that this is like, you know, touching you because it's real. Like, you know, it's everything that you want and your heart desires, you are so deserving of. You just have to, you know, we don't get given these things or whatever. We do have to put ourselves out there, and we do have to, you know, like, we just have to dream bigger for ourselves and go for it at the end of the day, because none of you, there's no exception to the rule that any of you are not deserving or worthy or smart enough or anything like that to not do this. And I know it sounds silly to some people because it's like, it's just shampoo, but us girls who have been in it for a little bit longer, we know that it's not just that. It's like the stories that this business creates for people. It's all well and good to show like the travel and all that sort of thing, but really what this is it's providing women safe homes. It's providing women choice. It's providing women the opportunity to give their kids things that they never got given. Like, I grew up super poor. I don't want my kids to grow up like that. I don't want my kids to grow up without, you know, like, and that's what this business is giving us. And that is, like, at the end of the day, like, why we do this. So I wanted to, like, for a while, it's going to feel like hard. Like, I know I can see all the names in here, and I know every single one of you have had hard days, hard weeks, all that sort of stuff. Sometimes it can feel like you're pushing shit uphill for 6 months. Like, it can feel really hard. It can feel like when you're going through things that, you know, you just don't want to do it anymore, and you feel like you're falling back down the hill. Sorry. But the shift that can happen, so like, it's really easy to look at someone who, well, like me, for example, who's like on leaderboards, or people like that you might know in your other like friendship groups or anything like that, that might be doing better than you, because we probably all know someone else who's doing Monat. It's really easy for us to look at that and be like, oh, to not see the personal growth and the struggles and the every day-to-day stuff that they go through. But the women that are doing this, like, we are still experiencing all the same things as you guys are experiencing: the self-doubt, the negative talk, the like, all that sort of thing. But it's just showing up every day. And what I want to say, the shift that can happen in a few days or weeks. I've been talking to a girl who, she literally has been giving this business her all for like 8 months. And then all of a sudden, in the last like 2-3 weeks, she's had VIPs sign up. She's had market partners sign up. She has just had like, things have started happening. And it's like, well, you're not, like, the things that you see happen in a few weeks or a few days have not happened in a few weeks or a few days. That's happened in 8 months. That has happened over 8 months of her just slogging it out and feel like you're pushing shit uphill. Nothing happens. It's like, I don't know what that saying is, but it's like, you get to say 1 year and you see all of this stuff start happening in your life, and you're like gaining success in different areas of your life. But that's not because of something that you did the week before. It's because of the year that you have put in that has led to that specific day. Not just like that day led to that day. It was like the year before it that led to that day. So wins are not luck. They don't happen out of nowhere. They come from what we work through. So wins are not just, like I said, just because you're having a great day and you've spoken to one person and it's, you know, like, your business has turned around. It's not because of luck. It's literally because of the stuff that we work through in those times, those things that we work through in those couple of months. So you're working at it for 6 months and you're working through your self-doubt and you're working through your mum guilt and your negative talk and your people pleasing. Like, all those things actually lead to wins. They lead to you winning in your life, in your business, in all that sort of stuff. It's like, all the shit that we are working through actually like results. And we know this, we know that like all the hard things make us into who we are. But when you get a win, it's not because of, you know, luck or random luck of the draw or whatever. It's literally because of the human that you have evolved into being and have made that happen for yourself. So and there's I can't remember what it is, but there's a Bible verse, and it's like Luke something, and it says, to whom much is given, of whom shall be much required. So it kind of ties in perfectly to that. To whom much is given, much is required. We don't get anything in this life without having to go through the hard shit. Like, we don't get through anything. All good, babe, you go, you head off, love you. We don't get to like just cruise and move through life. Much is required from somebody who to much is given. Like, God doesn't give you anything, like he doesn't give you struggles that he doesn't know that you can't handle, that is not going to make you come out better on the other end. You know, like, you're going to work through so much in this business, personally, everything like that. I know we haven't spoken much about the business in terms of like in the last half an hour, but this is what it is. Like, this is working through your shit. Like, this is working through like evolving and growing as a human, and, you know, like all that sort of thing. It's not going to, there is going to be a lot of, like, not from me, not from anyone else, but a lot is required from you to be able to get the things that you want. There was this amazing podcast that Ivy put up. I haven't listened to all of it, but it's Dustin someone, and he talked about the 10 times like rule. And it's like, if you sat back and you imagined if you had 10 times of everything that you want, you had 10 times your finances, you had 10 times your market partners, you had 10 times, you know, personal growth, you had 10 times of, you know, like getting better at problem solving, I don't know, whatever it is, 10 times of that. And you're like, great, my life is sweet, I've got my 10 times of all of that stuff. Like, when you get to that point, you have then also got 10 times the amount of the stuff that comes with that. So when you go, okay, well, like in however many years, I want to be 10 times better at like leading or problem solving or something like that. What comes along with that is 10 times the amount of problems. If you get better at problem solving, you've got 10 times the amount of problems. So there is no growth. You never get to a place without having to go through all this stuff that we don't want to have to work through. Nobody wants 10 times the amount of problems. But when we go through 10 times the amount of problems, we get 10 times better at problem solving at the end of the day. If we go through 10 times the amount of like leadership efforts, you're going to be a better leader in 10 times the amount. If you want to be 10 times better at communication with your partner and have like, you know, 10 times the happy marriage, you're going to have to go through 10 times worth of shit. You're going to have to go through 10 times the amount of fights and communicating and all that sort of stuff. You have to work through it. If you want 10 times the amount of market partners that you have now, you've got to get 10 times better at having conversations, at being rejected, you know, like getting rejected and having people say no to you a million times makes you so much better and makes it so much sweeter when you do get that one person. So all of that, it leads to, remember that all of this hard stuff, all of this muddy, yucky stuff is actually leading to you to a place that is so much more like prosperous and so much more abundant in your life. And that's why it's super important to come back to that vision of like, okay, I know where I'm going. I know why I'm going there. So right now, the things that I'm doing and the things that I'm going through is actually, as hard as it is, propelling me into be a better person, a better leader, a better friend, a better wife, all those sorts of things. Like, it's really hard. Like, all the time I get caught up in this and I'm like, have a little pity party for myself. But then I'm like, okay, I know that I'm actually growing as a person. And the beautiful thing about like this business is it pushes you into really uncomfortable positions of growth. because there's not many things other than, you know, maybe like a really hard other job where you're working for someone else and stuff like that, that they're like, well, you have to learn this, you have to do the training and all this sort of stuff. These are things that we're actually realizing about ourselves. And these are the things that we're going, okay, like it shines a light on what we find difficult and what we find within ourselves that we aren't happy with. And we go, okay, if I want to be better, if I want to be a better leader and all that sort of thing, I've got to work through this stuff. And guys, this was really hard for me when I first started, like really hard. I'm all about like self-development. I'm all about, you know, like being a better person, bettering myself and psychology and all that sort of thing. But man, I found it really hard when I first started this. I was just like being confronted with things that I didn't know about myself, like comparison and jealousy and like the negative talk that I would talk to myself all the time. But now I'm just so much more aware of what I'm doing because I have to lead other women, and I know I'm trying to teach other women not to feel like that. So I have to speak to myself in those times as well. So, oh wow, I went through all of my notes there. I just rambled. The bigger the goal, the bigger the opposition. That's pretty much what I just talked about. Bigger the goal, the more opposition you're going to have. The bigger you dare to dream, the more stuff you're going to have to go through. Remember when I talked about, I think it was our last meeting or the meeting before, about the 4 Ds that, you know, you come across, and one of them was like oh yeah, good talk, Lydia. You can't even remember the word. Discouragement. Talking about discouragement, opposition, you are going to get so much backlash. The bigger that you dream, the more people want to tear you down. The bigger that you set your goals, the more people are just like, no, like you can't dream that, because it actually triggers other people. It's never about you. It's never about your dreams. It's never about what you're doing. It's always about that person. At the end of the day, no one can make you feel a certain way. And I've had this conversation so many times, like if somebody is triggered by you doing well and the opposition that's coming towards you every time that you dream bigger, or every time you say, hey, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going for, the sooner that you get opposition, that's always about them. They have to own that, not you. It's not on you to own that. It's not on you to take that on and go, that's, oh, maybe I am dreaming too big. Maybe I'm not. That is actually not for you to take on. That is something that somebody else is saying, and it's up to you whether you actually bring that on or not. Because you're going to have family, you're going to have people that are going to go, you're not good enough, you're not this, you're not that. I can't believe you'd be doing that. Actually, just don't take that on. Just don't bring that on, because that's not something that's got everything to do with them and nothing to do with you. It's actually none of your business. Even though they're saying it to you, none of your business. You just stick in your own lane, have your big goals. Opposition is going to come. That's just life. It is actually just a part of life. You are just going to continuously get opposition, but the better that you get at that, the better that you get at like realizing what that is and going, okay, the fact that I'm getting opposition now actually means that I'm doing the right thing. I think I'm just on my path, and you know, like the world will try and like throw everything at you to try and get you off that path. But if you know your vision, if you know your why, if you know exactly what you're doing and you are freaking rock solid in that, nothing can stir you. Nothing can shake you off that firm foundation. So it's really important to be really set on that firm foundation and not be someone who can just like waver and this and that. And it's a growth process. It really is, because it's not something that we just automatically go like, oh, I'm not going to worry about that. It's something that we have to work through every day. I still work through it every day. Like, so just remember that the more that you come against and the harder days that you have, you're actually just getting closer to your goal. I wrote down new level, new devil. That's pretty much very, very true. Because when you're getting to a new level, you will find that there is a new devil trying to come in, trying to pull you back away from that. So I like want to let you guys know as well that my goal in all of this is to, you know, help you guys be more confident, help you guys like work through your stuff, because I feel like that is really important. You know, there are, you know, practical things and all that sort of stuff. I could send you a training and I could help you build a cart and all that sort of tangible stuff. But my ultimate goal is to get you guys to keep you hanging on pretty much until you hit your point where things become smooth for you. I wrote it down way better than what I'm saying it. My goal is to keep you guys hanging in there until your own personal breakthrough happens, until you start seeing enough evidence where you're no longer just hanging in there. You are walking the path, moving through it until the next level, to the next level, to the next level. That's my heart, is that I want to keep you guys there until I see your personal breakthrough. And you're going to go through so many personal breakthroughs. I had a personal breakthrough last night. You've got to just, I want to be there for you until you guys get to that and keep you hanging on until you do that, because this business is not for the faint-hearted. It's hard because also we haven't grown up like doing this. We get taught that we just go into a job and you do as you're told and all that sort of thing. We're now having to be really autonomous about how we decide to show up, how we decide to deal with certain situations, how we decide to deal with our own shit. So it's something that like we've never really been taught. So it is really difficult. It is really hard. We're serving others as well. So you're serving other people. It's quite hard to be in the people business. But you've got, like, all of you have a heart for it. Like, all of you like have a heart for helping people and wanting to, you know, be successful and to change other people's lives. And that's really like what it's about. And yeah, I just had 1 year of focus can totally change your life. So that's kind of like what I wanted to touch on, because I can come in here and I can be like, you know, give you all the things. But I want to, yeah, just like build you guys up to know that, you know, what you're going through right now, whether it's personal, whether it's in your business, anything like that, it's literally leading you to be, you know, the person that you are going to be in like a year. And you're going to look back and be like, far out, I'm so glad that I did this. And what that means is just showing up every day, still being like, I'm doing this every day. I'm going to put in the work. I'm going to put this in. Like, in 1 year, if you do something like the 1%ers every day, and whether that's 1% of personal growth, whether that's like doing meditation every day, or you're praying every day, or you're going to the gym every day, you're putting in that 1% every day. If you don't put in the 1% every day, and you put in like maybe 10% like every like month, or, you know, like 50% every week, doesn't really balance out. You kind of just end up doing less than what you normally would. You put in 1% every day for a year, you have 365%. It's rather than just being like in and out sort of thing. So I just wanted to encourage you guys, because I honestly think you're all doing amazing. But if you have any questions about anything, it doesn't have to be deep like I've been talking about. I can literally be like, how do I attract more market partners, or anything like that? You can take, there's not many people in here, so you can take yourself off mute and ask me. But yeah, I just wanted to encourage you guys, because I know that, you know, like this month that we've still got 2 weeks. Like, I literally used to think and be like, oh my gosh, like literally 2 weeks have gone by and there's only 2 weeks left. And now I literally look at it like, far out, we've still got 2 weeks left. Like, we have all seen what can happen in 2 weeks. We can all see what can happen in like a week. Literally, like, one of the girls last month became MM within like 2 days, which was huge. And so whatever I would love to ask you guys, I know I asked you at the start, what is your goal for the end of the month? Like, what do you want to achieve, either personally or business or anything like that? What do you want to achieve by the end of the month? Someone has to answer though. Another block for Eliza. Amazing. Eliza, you're killing it. Absolutely killing it. So another block, 1 more MP for VIPs. Emily, I really want to make a block. Have you got a market partner, Em? No. Okay. So let's look at that and hit next rank. Easy. 2 + 4. That's what we got to focus on. 2 + 4. You've got 2? Oh, you need 2. Okay. Easy, easy. I really want an MP. Yes, Georgia, let's work on that. Let's actually like talk about, you know, like getting you an MP and what that is and what that looks like, and you know what, like talking about it and stuff like that. I think that's what, can I ask what do you feel like? Do you feel like you talk about the business? Or do you feel confident enough to talk about the business?
Can I unmute because that's way easier? Yeah, I feel like I know I'd said to you in those first few months, I was just not mentally there.
Yeah.
And then I feel like I have spoken about it a bit, but maybe I want to follow like the days that you were saying to follow it more rather than product stuff. And I know that I'm very sporadic.
Yeah.
It's just been more
Everyone.
consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But I
find that
have like I have a few weeks kind of off work. So
yeah.
I definitely really want to focus on getting an MP while I've got more capacity.
Yeah, awesome. And if any of you are feeling like, you know, it's easy to share about the hair care and it's easy to share about the products, but you don't really feel confident enough in attracting a market partner, all you have to do is share your why and your vision and your story. There's nothing like technical really that you have to. Fee just said recruit another strong MP and catch up on some sleep. I think we all feel the same. All can relate. But yeah, attracting MPs is literally as simple as, you know, sharing the vision, sharing your vision, sharing other people's vision, sharing other people's vision of like, you know, what they wanted and how they got there. You know, like Ivy, Krista, there's so many women in this business that aren't even $1 million earners. Like we've got a chick called Sarah Wise. She's amazing as well. Like sharing their vision of like what they wanted and how they got it, and that this business was a vessel for them to get there. The hardest thing about attracting market partners, I feel for a lot of people, is that you have to be really vulnerable. And
I feel like my biggest block is that, like, just processing it, is that because I don't have anyone yet, and like I've only got one VIP, I feel like I've put a block in my head that I can't talk about making money because I'm not really making money. So I think that's a good idea to talk about other people's.
Yeah, talk about other people. Talk about, you don't have to be making any money yet. You will be. Also, people don't even know at the end of the day. People don't know how many team members you have or how many VIPs you have or anything like that.
Yeah, but I guess that's my autism life, that I feel like I'm lying. So I struggle. So I just don't talk about it. So I think I need
you
to.
don't have to lie. You just have to talk about that's what you want. And this is what you've seen other people achieve. And it's like, this is where I want to go. This is what I have seen people achieve.
Yeah, that's good.
And I'm going for that. Like, that's what I want, you know? If you don't have your own story, and like Ivy says this all the time, there are hundreds of other women who have a story that can relate to you, that can relate to the people that you're talking to as well.
Yeah.
So that's good that you know that that's your blog. You can work on that.
I have a very similar thing, and it literally is the same thing. It's an avoidance syndrome. Like it is chemically in our brains as ASD, ADHD people. But one thing is with my MPs, I'm like, how can I get someone when, like, I've just had my little hiatus because I've just needed some time in my mental head. And so I haven't been online, but I'm like, how can I mentor people right now while I am like struggling at even mentoring myself? But I know once I've gotten over that hump and I've at least even just gotten one MP, I can tick that off and I've done that. Like, so I just like, instead of thinking of the two for now, I'm just trying to limit it as just the one. So then I'm like, okay, as long as I can just go one, I've done that one. So it's not as heavy as two on my brain. But yeah, that's
something
what I'm trying to do.
Something that Jess has pointed out. I was listening to a recording a while ago, and and it's really easy to get into this mindset of all of us. We want to like get that MP, we want to get that VIP, and how do I get those? How do I just get 3 VIPs so I can, you know, build that neighborhood? At the end of the day, we have to think about, who can I help? How can I help? How can I help and who can I help? Not what can I get? And we all do that. I'm like, okay, I need 3 more. I need 3 more market partners. I have to get this. I have to get that. I have to sometimes take myself back and be like, what is helpful right now? Like, what can I show to someone who is struggling financially, who is like, has one car that they're sharing with their husband and they really need a second car? Who can I help that almost can't afford groceries? Like, literally, I went onto my phone just before this and I saw someone who was like, I literally went to the shops for a few minutes for a couple of things and it was $60. Literally can't afford this life. I know that that chick needs help. I know that that chick needs this business. So be on the lookout for women who need that help, but also speak to the women who you genuinely want to help. You want to help those women who are in your position. You want to help those women that, you know, might have 3-4 kids and they, you know, are struggling financially, or their husband literally works like his ass off and they want to get home. You're helping those women to show them that this business can actually give them that at the end of the day. So instead of being like, I got to get this, because with them, and I do it too, I go into like this headspace of like, and I don't come across desperate, but it comes with a little bit of desperation. It comes with like, okay, this is what I need. I just got to like, you know, rattle off all these things. And I got to like, you know, tell them that there's like 30 to 50% off as a market partner. And I got to do all this stuff. When at the end of the day, I'm like, people who need my help, people who literally need this business, don't give a shit whether they're going to get 30% off products. Mm-hmm. What they care about is that they could be earning $50 extra a week. What they care about is that they could earn $1,800 by signing up 15 people. And it's that easy. And what can that money do? Buy, like, literally fill up my petrol tank. It can, you know, buy like a week's worth of groceries. They're the women that we want to help, because really that is what this business is. We're helping women like have choice again, be able to say yes again, be able to have their own money, like all that sort of thing. And same with VIPs. It's like, you know, these products are vegan, low tox, all that sort of stuff. People want help with their hair. Like, who can I help? People want help with their postpartum hair loss. People want help with, you know, like they've got, I don't know, their partner's got a balding patch and they're super self-conscious about it. Like, literally, you're trying to help these people with the issue that they're going through, not in such like a clinical way of just like, oh, we've got like this and this and this and all, and like the sales and all that sort of stuff. It's really easy to put up a picture of like, you know, like a cute graphic and stuff like that. But what are you speaking? Who are you speaking to, and what problems of those people are you speaking to? Because at the end of the day, we've all got problems. We've all got problems in like our finances, our hair. And if you don't have a problem with your finances, you probably have problems with your hair, or vice versa. So we're speaking to those people. Phoebe said this may already be in boards. Any Zoom replays specific towards recruitment training that you can recommend for us to watch, Liz? Love the social media trainings you shared in the chat recently. There is one by, I think I did one actually early on with 3 or 4 other women that I think I've popped in there as well. It's a recruitment training. There is, let me see, if you've watched all the ones in boards, there are a couple in there in the must watch trainings that are good. I'll quickly tell you which ones are good. If you haven't listened to the Daniel G recording, the must watch trainings, it's really good. It's like, I love Daniel G. It's a bit hard hitting, but it's just called Daniel G recording. It's in the must watch videos. And then there's a sales mastery is really good. And then the one that's specifically in there by Erica Schaefer, the mindset and activities to recruit business partners, I think it's week 7, is also really good. There's so many in there, like building your dream team. There's just so much in there that you can like look at for recruiting. You're welcome. But yeah, is there anything else that anyone is like wanting to ask?
I think this is kind of on the same topic, and I'm sorry if you answered it. With MPs, so I have gotten MPs, but one is just wanting one of the products, and the other, something kind of happened where she didn't want to do the business side of it anymore. So I think I'm feeling really self-conscious that I'm scared to have people depend on me, because I don't know if I will be able to actually help them or lead them well. And I think I kind of am like, I want MPs, but I'm also really scared to actually get an MP, because I'm like, if I did, like, what would I actually
do?
What can I give?
Yeah, you can give everything that you're already giving them now. You don't have to be anyone. You don't have to be anyone to give anyone anything. People are joining you because they like you for who you are right now. You're not pretending to be, and that's why it's so important to be so authentic. It's like, you're not pretending to be anyone. Like, how many times have I hopped on here and been like, oh, I'm a mess and I've got all my notes, and can you, thanks guys for being so patient with me, and like, you know, I'm just growing as a leader. That's literally it. You don't actually have to have anything, because the more that you build your team, the more that you're going to grow. Like, I was having a panic attack from hopping on a Zoom with 3 people. Like, it's just the reality of it. You're going to grow as you grow as your business grows. You don't have to give them anything. Like, you've got everything that you need to give them. You've got, you know, our boards. You've got, at the end of the day, I can never give you guys anything that is going to completely and utterly change your life. You all have it within you. So I might sign up people that, you know, be like, well, I want this from you, and I want this from you, and I want this from you. At the end of the day, I can talk to them, I can give them the resources, but that person is not going to be successful if they don't do the work, and if they aren't like autonomous and put in the work and all that sort of thing. So it's not really anything that you can give them. It's your guidance. It's you as a person in general, because remember, people are joining you not because you're showing up there being like, I actually know everything about Monat and I can give you everything. They're just going to join you because they're like, yeah, shit, I like her vibe. Like, that's it. So, you know, at the end of the day, don't get so caught up in your head of like, and that's imposter syndrome. It's like, am I good enough to be a leader? Am I good enough to, you know, recruit someone and let them know? Like, guys, that's what I'm here for as well. Remember, like, you bring them into our team and you can be like, this is a place for us to learn and grow together and all that sort of thing. And in that space, you also grow. You just kind of, you learn as you grow. So,
I have something real little to say that I just thought of it, Celeste, and it might make you feel good. But think back when you started managing in retail and you had your retail team and you had to look after them and you had to do the rosters and you had to guide them and teach new people and hire people and that kind of stuff. And you also had all your life going on too, but you still did that and you still managed to do that and you did it really well. And you were like, and still are, such an amazing role model to follow. So just remember that deep down. You've done that before in another job, so you can do it again in this one. It's just a different, this is your shop now, like they keep saying. Like, this is, it's, I'm literally saying this because I can take my own advice now, because I know it's the perfect thing and I want it out there so other women can listen to this too. But like, we've all done this before in another job, in another way.
yeah,
we have to change our mindset of the way we're looking at it and go, okay, this is my shop now and I'm the manager of this shop and I'm going to hire who I want to be this, and then I'm going to serve to who I want as well. And you can do it.
Yeah,
I love that. Thank you.
We all have skills within us that we can like, you know, portray into leadership, whether that's being a mum, whether that's, you know, being a carer, whether that's being like of service to someone. We have already stuff within us, innate within us, that is going to help us in these things. So yeah.
Did you end up choosing, are we doing a catch up on a Saturday soon, or
Yeah,
did you?
I think we are going to Saturday morning. I just have to figure out a place and I will pop it in the chat. I've got to do that tonight. Okay, my loves. Well, I am going to jump off here and let you all go. That was a long one. It was going to be like 30 minutes, but sorry, I always ramble.
No, it's good.
It was really
But
good.
I love you all, and if you need anything, literally, yes, I will, Eliza, I will share like some of these women's, like Em Whitlock. Yep, I'll pop in there. I'll actually send you some of the women who are doing this. Yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Reach out to me. I'm here for you guys, and love you all.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye.